Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom. It's your brother Joshua back with another quick coffee break and a quick exhortation for the brothers and sisters in the truth. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and all glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Mashiach Yahushai, right? And I believe I titled this video, Should We Prepare for the Famine, right? And the reason why I titled it that is because there's been a discussion going on with some people about a dream that someone had that the Lord told them that they have to start preparing and gathering food for time to come, right? That the Lord told them that they should make sure that they have plenty of food, water, and essentials to prepare for the famine that is coming, right? And this is the thing that we all need to understand from the jump, that food is not going to save you, right? And a lot of times when so-called brothers or sisters have a dream, they have trouble understanding what has been told unto them, and what the Lord is trying to convey to them, right? Or the information that is given to them, right? Because the Lord can give you a dream about something and it can be interpreted in another way, right? It can mean something totally different. Now, I'm not saying that you can't prepare and have things handy for such an event, right, as a famine or something like that. But I'm here to tell you that the Lord tells you not to put your trust in carnal things, right? To never trust in things that your perishables or whatever it is, or non-perishables, your canned goods, your waters, things like that. Because essentially those things are going to run out, right? And it's such a time that's coming, like Jacob's trouble, right? You might not even be able to, enjoy those essential things, right? Because essentially you may be on the run. You may be out, hiding from Esau, these other nations, or whatever it is. You may not be able to gather all those things and partake in your spoils, man, right? Because the Lord said this, right? Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras real quick. Right, this is the book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 16 and verse 40. And it reads, O my people, hear my word. Make you ready to the battle. And in those evils, be even as a pilgrim upon the earth. So the Lord said in those times, you're going to be moving around anyway. You got to prepare yourself to be a pilgrim upon the earth, man. Meaning a pilgrim is not always stationary. They're moving, they're settling in certain places, then they're picking up and moving again, man. And you're not going to have time to hunker down into your basements, your bunkers, whatever it is, and all the essentials that you built up. You're just going to be over there enjoying those things in peace. It's not going to happen. Because all these things are going to happen so fast. It's going to be like a rushing flood, right? You have all the martial law going on. You have all the seditions and the people running around, panicking, no foods on the shelves and things of that nature. You think it's just going to be easy in that time, that you can just settle down and relax and enjoy the things that you've accumulated over time. It's not true. And the Lord said, even in that time when you're on a pilgrim on the earth and when you're on the move, you can't even return back and grab the things that you got. When people are trying to prepare with bug out bags, right? Gather up weapons and ammunition and canned goods and storing this here and storing that there. You may never be able to touch those things with all the destruction and the chaos that's going to be going on in that time. Right, let's get another precept real quick in the book of Matthew. Right, let's get the book of Matthew chapter 24. Right. Okay, this is the book of Matthew chapter 24 And I'm going to start at verse number 17, and it reads, "Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house, neither let him which is in the field return back to his clothes." Right? So the Lord said, look, you out in the midst of this turmoil, this destruction, you're not going to be able to turn around or have time to go back and gather certain essentials, man, to take with you wherever you may go. Right? Because it's going to be so much trouble and destruction and chaos and wickedness going on in this time where it's going to usher in this famine. And that's not all you got to prepare for, because the word famine in itself tells you that there's going to be people without. Right? It's not just going to be you. It's going to be people that's without. Think about it. When the so-called COVID-19 scare came through, what happened to these stores? People start panic buying. The stores, the shelves started becoming empty, bare. People fighting over foods, things of that nature. And even before then, before famine, prices are going to start going up to where you may have to pay $50 for a loaf of bread, man. And your neighbors are probably not going to be able to have that. They may not have the essential dollar to be able to go grab that, but they have mouths to feed, families, right? And they're going to have to think about their families at first before they think about themselves. So a lot of these people are going to be attacking one another, taking things from one another, pillaging, plundering, right? Doing all these things to make sure they survive. So there's no way you're going to be in comfortability sitting and waiting for somebody to rescue you with your canned goods. It's not realistic, and it's not going to happen. Right? Let's get a precept. Let's go back to 2nd Ezra. Right? Let's go back to 2nd Ezra, chapter 15. Right? See what the Lord said. It's the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 15 and verse number 15, and it reads, "For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh." So the sword is what? The modern day gun, bats, knives, whatever have you. The modern day weapon. These things are coming, and the destruction of the people is drawing nigh during this famine. And it says, "And the people shall stand up and fight against another," right? With swords in their hands. "For there shall be seditions among men, and evading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and in the course of their actions shall stand in their power." So whatever is going to happen, or whatever they will, is going to happen. They're not going to worry about what your local governors, right? Your politicians, your cops, whatever it is that is running your cities, they're not going to care about none of that. They're going to be starving in this time, right? And it says, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able," man. Right? There's going to be blockades, right? There's going to be martial law. There's going to be people out there traveling, looking to take your head off for your food, right? And it says, "For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled. The houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid." This is the point. "A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods, because of the lack of bread and of great tribulation." So it's going to be a lack of bread, a lack of victuals, man. Right? The lack of goods. So people are going to be kicking in your door, busting your windows, man, trying to burn you, set your house on fire just to get you up out of there so they can run in and try to grab what you got real quick. Right? You got to think about it. Look at it as, the movie Book of Eli, things of that nature. This is what that's going to look like. Right? Or what's that one with Will Smith? I forget the name of it, man. Right? But not necessarily the so-called zombies or whatever, man. But, people are going to be fighting one against another trying to get the food. So you're no way going to be standing back enjoying those things that you've accumulated. And first and foremost, you shouldn't put your faith in carnal things that you built up. Your faith, your first thought should be calling out to the Most High, man. You should have faith enough to call on the Most High and allow him to guard you. Allow him to guide you where you need to be. Allow and have the faith in the Most High. He's going to take care of you. Right? He said he's going to take care of his children. Those that are following and doing his will, keeping his laws, statutes, and commandments. That's who you should have trust in, and not perishables or non-perishables or things that men have given. These carnal videos and things on how to prepare for a famine or a nuclear blast or things of that nature, man. That's not what you should be doing. These so-called self-sufficient books that are out. You should be calling on the Most High and having faith in the Lord in that day, man. And allow him to take care of you. The Lord said he's going to feed you in that day. Did he feed Elijah with a raven, man? He did many miracles for his men and his women that believed on him. He takes care of the grass, man, the birds and the trees, all these things. Right? Let's get a precept real quick. Let's go back to Matthew, right? Chapter 6, right? This is the book of Matthew, chapter 6, and I'm going to start at verse number 25, and it reads, "Therefore I say unto you, take no thought for your life," right? "What ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body. For ye shall have, slakia, for ye shall put on," right? Or what ye shall put on, rather, slakia. And it says, "Is not the life more than meat, and the body more than raiment? Behold, the fowls of the air," right? "For they sow not, neither do they reap, nor gather into barns, yet your heavenly Father feedeth them. Are ye not much better than they?" Right? Are you not much better than the fowls of the earth, the fishes of the sea, right? The grass and the tulips and the roses that grow. Are you not much better than those things? Then why are you worrying? The Lord said don't take no thought of what you're going to eat anyway. Because like I said, you're not going to really be able to partake in those things that you're building up. You may be leaving those things for somebody else just to come and destroy you, to take those things from you, because you didn't put your trust in the Lord. Therefore, you wasn't defended in that day. The Lord allowed you to reap all those things and gather them up, and you've been storing up for years and years. And then when that time came, guess what? You did all that just to give it over to somebody else, man, because you didn't trust in the Lord. And that will happen when you think upon carnal things and you got a mindset like Esau, right? Got them how to do it books, and this is how you build this shelter. This is how you hunker down and bunker and do this. This is how you build this, right? This is how you grow and this and that, and this is how you store, and this is what you need. When you're believing in Esau's books rather than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man, he's going to put you in a position to build up certain things that you're going to have to leave there for somebody else, man, that actually believes, because you was carnal minded. And he's not going to defend you in that day. And you're going to be spoiled and destroyed, man. Right, let's get another precept. Let's go back to the Apocrypha. Let's go to Sirach, man. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 2. Right, Ecclesiasticus chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse number 11. And it reads, "For the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long-suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in the time of affliction." So the Lord is pitiful. He knows his saints. He knows those that follow him, that do the work, that believe in him, that love him. And he said he saves in the time of affliction. And that's exactly what's coming, is a time of affliction, famine, chaos, destruction. Right? And it says, "Woe be to the fearful hearts and faint hands, and sinner that goeth two ways. So you can't be fearful hearted, man, or be that sinner that's double minded. Oh, I got to get this and I got to get that, but I got faith, but I can't really eat faith. I got to, save this up for my family and I got to do this. No, he said destruction to you. Those that are going both ways, those that are double minded, that do not trust in him. And it says, woe unto him that is faint-hearted, for he believeth not. Therefore shall he not be defended, man. The Lord said you didn't believe in him. You didn't care about his faithful words that he spoke against, to you, through these scriptures, man. You didn't believe that he would save you in the time of affliction. So he said, woe to you, man, that don't believe it. I'm not even going to be there for you in that day. There's no reason to call upon me in that day because you don't believe anyway, man. Right? And it says, woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? They that fear the Lord will not disobey his word, and they that love him will keep his ways. So they that don't, those that love the Most High and keep his commandments are going to believe his words, and they're going to do what he says. And the Lord said, don't take no thought of what you should eat in that day, or even where, man. He's going to take care of you, right? Reading on. And it says, they that fear the Lord will seek that which is well pleasing unto him, and they that love him shall be filled with the law. They that fear the Lord will prepare their hearts and humble their souls in his sight. So they that fear the Lord is going to prepare their hearts first. They're going to fill their minds with the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the Most High, the essential food that is needed in such a time that's coming. And it says, saying we will fall into the hands of the Lord and not into the hands of men. For as his majesty is, so is his mercy. So we're going to be in the hands of the Most High and allow him to carry us, man, and allow him to guide us and not put our trust in carnal men and take the how to do manual and try to survive off of that during the famine and Jacob's trouble, but yet take the precepts and learn how to survive in that time by thus said the Lord and doing the things that the Lord said. Right? Let me get a precept on that, man. Right? Let's go to the book of Psalms, right? It's the book of Psalms, chapter 146 and verse number 3. And it says, put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. So you cannot put your trust in men, in carnal men, where there's no help. Because in that day, a lot of, whoever's going to be able to survive in that day through the power and spirit of the Lord is 9 times out of 10 going to be alone. It's going to be a lot of death in that time. So, it's going to be very few number of people scavenging and running around and clicking up those that are together, whatever. You might get found, by yourself, surrounded by a gang of thugs, man. How you going to get out with your little goods or your little knife or whatever you got, man? Right? The Lord said, reading that again, it says, put not your trust in princes, nor in the Son of Man, in whom there is no help. His breath goeth forth and returneth to his earth, and in the very day his thoughts will perish. Right? Happy is he that hath Yahweh of Jacob for his help, whose hope is in the Lord his God, man. So happy are you that put your trust in the Most High, because the Most High can do anything. Anything's possible with the Lord. Because even in that day, you never know. You might run up. You might be scavenging. You might not eat for 2 or 3 days, 4 days a week. And you might be scavenging and walking through the wilderness and run up on somebody's bunker on an accident. One of these other nations, a Edomite or Elamite or whatever, Moabite, whatever it is. You may run up on them, and the Lord can put the spirit on one of them to take care of you, man. To bring you in, give you shelter, feed you, and to make sure you good. You got to believe the Lord to do that. Because the Lord said he would do that. He's going to guide you. He's going to protect you, man. And as long as your ways are pleasing to the Most High, he's going to protect you. Right, let's get a precept on that, man. Check this out. Let's go to the book of Proverbs real quick. Chapter 16. And what's that? Verse number 7. It says, when a man's ways please the Lord, he maketh even his enemies to be at peace with him. See that? The Lord said when your ways please him, he'll make your enemies, take care of you, man. He'll make your enemies even bow down and make sure you're good. He'll put the spirit on them, man. And make sure that you're well taken care of. Just so you can keep going. And keep that trust in the Lord, man. The Lord is mighty that way. And you got to believe that. Right? Between 2 or 3 witnesses, let's get another witness on that, right? Let's go to the book of Jeremiah. Chapter 15 and verse number 11. And it reads, the Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction. And that's mighty right there, man. The Lord said, look, I'm going to read that again, man. That was so mighty. Jeremiah 15 and 11. He said, the Lord said, verily, it shall be well with thy remnant. Verily, I will cause the enemy to entreat thee well in the time of evil and in the time of affliction, man. So the Lord is going to cause the wicked man, the enemy of the Lord, the enemy of Israel, man, these other nations to entreat you well, man. He going to roll out the red carpet for you, right? You're going to be eating and drinking and sitting pretty in that day, man. The Lord said, my servants are going to eat, man, and they're going to laugh in that time. And they're going to be shielded from the destruction, man. And he didn't tell you how he was going to do it. He just said he's going to do it. His servants are going to eat in that day, man. And he may cause your enemies to very well treat you like a king in that day, man, and take care of you. So you can't put your trust in these carnal things, man, and worry about food that's just going to nourish you for a dispensation of time, and then it's going to go out into the drought, and then you're hungry again. Now what? When your food is gone, who are you going to call on? Where are you going to trust when it's all over? Then what are you going to do? The Lord said you're not supposed to eat bread and that alone. Right? Let me get this real quick. Right? Get the classic. Book of Matthew. All right? It's the book of Matthew chapter 4 and verse 4. And it reads, but he answered and said, it is written, man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceedeth out of the mouth of Yahweh. So man is not supposed to just be living by bread. So you can't be putting your trust just in that carnal food that's going to nourish you for a little bit. Just like Yahweh told the woman at the well, yeah, you drink of this water, you're going to thirst again. But I'll give you water which you will never thirst again, man. Paraphrasing. And that's what you should be looking for. It's the food that you can eat, that you will never be hungry again. Because in that day, the Lord is going to take away the word, man, off this earth. And the only thing you're going to have is what you accumulated. That's why he said, don't be like them 5 foolish virgins. I'm not going to get the account, but you know what it is. Them 5 foolish virgins, man, that allow and spent up that oil. And then when time came where all hell broke loose, they trying to look for the other 5 virgins that kept that oil and increased it. And then they start asking for that oil, man. And it's like, nah, it ain't enough for us. Right? So you don't want to be like those 5 foolish virgins, man. Get the spiritual food that you need, because there is a famine coming. Not only physically a famine, but there's a famine of the word that's going to feed you forever. You have to get it while the getting is good. Right, I'm going to get that last precept, man. Right, let me get that real quick. It's the book of Amos, man. The book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11, it says, "Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that I will send a famine in the land. Not a famine of bread, nor of thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh." So the Lord will send that famine in the land. He's going to send a physical famine and a famine of the word. Right? He's going to take away his word off the earth too. So you better be accumulating that spiritual treasure, man. That knowledge of the spirit, man. First and foremost, before you start thinking about carnal food in these last days, man. But I just wanted to come bring that encouragement, man. That don't fret yourself over non-perishable items and foods that can feed your body for but a moment. But build up on spiritual knowledge so you can be equipped in that day. Because the Lord said, wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. You'll be stable in that day. And the Lord is going to take care of you and nourish you. Right? How he meant to nourish you. Right? But with that, hope you take heed, take the precepts and apply them. Right? Giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushua, saying Shalom.